Now, some Gauteng roads have been flooded following heavy rains overnight. At least 2 people died in Gauteng when they were struck by lightning. Emergency services have appealed to motorists and those living in low-lying areas to exercise caution. To unpack these weather conditions, we're joined by SABC News meteorologist Azwitakadzi. Tuwani. Azwi, welcome to SABC News' The Agenda. Speak to us, my friend. We know that the past 48 hours have been hectic in as far as the downpours in Gauteng, the lightning storms last night. What has been causing this? What is going on?
Well, we are in season of severe thunderstorms, and we have seen a whole lot of thunderstorms in Gauteng yesterday. This has been expected, and it is going to continue to happen today. And for today, we are seeing those severe thunderstorms sitting in northwest, heading to the western parts of Limpopo. Extremely dangerous conditions can be expected with that, as lightning is one of the possibilities. And we're also talking of tornadoes, and we are seeing a whole lot of rainfall that can fall in those areas. Flash flooding is also some of the possibilities, and as we saw over the interior of the city of Johannesburg yesterday.
Seen as with the past couple of days, the South African Weather Services taking out or issuing yellow alerts, red alerts. What does that mean for the layman in the street? I mean, when I see yellow alerts, I've got no understanding what that means. All I know is I should either watch out for thunderstorms or I should either watch out for hail.
Yeah. Well, yellow just means that it is very dangerous. And then with thunderstorms, hail is possible. And again, flash flooding is possible. A tornado is possible. It is very severe when it is yellow. But when it goes to red, it is super severe. Like, it is totally going to happen, and we can experience it at any moment. But with yellow, yes, we can see it in few hours to come, and it is still extremely dangerous. So this is why we need to be alert. When a yellow warning is issued, we need to remain alert and adhere to the conditions that have been provided. Like, you need to remain indoors, and again, you need to make sure that you do not cross a flooded stream, as the low-lying areas, they can be flooded at any time, and mainly in northwest and the western parts of Limpopo for today.
I was just about to ask you on the preemptive measures that people or one can take if they find themselves in a situation. I know that sometimes we see accidents and people say, no, there was just a small pool of water. I just drove through it. I did not think that I would aquaplane.
Yeah, well, you know, with that, a pool of water can really affect your driving. And again, it brings a whole lot of imbalance, because if one tire is on the pool of water and another one is not, then it brings a lot of imbalancing, and it can quickly turn or skid. So please be very careful. We urge the people to also make a good braking distance behind the car in front of you, and keep your lights on, and again, your hazards if it is falling very heavily. And again, when it comes to lightning, we also need to be very careful and to always remain indoor when you hear a sound of thunder, and make sure that you are not next to anything that can conduct electricity. And if you are in an open area, try to be the lowest object possible. And again, do not use any landline phones if you are in the house, and do not use water, because water and landline phones can conduct a whole lot of electricity. And again, a super electricity like from lightning can really destroy you in a short period of time.
Yeah. Azwi, quickly before we go to our journalist Nozintombi Miya, what are the prospects of the weather today, not only in Gauteng, and possibly any other dangers we can expect across the country?
Well, we're still expecting severe thunderstorms over northwest and the western parts of Limpopo. In Gauteng, we are expecting thunder showers to thunderstorms. They are not severe, but anything is possible. Also going to Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and KwaZulu-Natal.
Azwi, thank you very much indeed for speaking to us right here on The Agenda as we look at what the weather prospects have been. 2 people have died with regards to the 48-hour storm that have hit Gauteng over the past couple of days. And with that, Azwi, we'll say goodbye to you. Thank you for joining us. We now cross to our reporter, Nozintombi Miya. Nozintombi, on the ground where you are, speak to us. We've heard Azwi speaking about the thunderstorms that engulfed Gauteng in particular overnight, where 2 people have died. Where are you, and what is the scenario at your location?
Thank you so much, Tabiso. You're quite right. We definitely heard Azwi as he was giving a forecast of what's expected to happen later tonight. And it really does correlate with some of the people that we've spoken to here in Alex. We're standing right by the banks of the Yuske River. And you can understand that this particular area is one of the areas that are the most affected every time it becomes the rainy season. And as we said, we are in the rainy season, and correlating with some of the residents, with what some of the residents have said, they had a very difficult night last night, and they're worried about what to expect later today as the rainy weather is anticipated. And Tabiso, just to talk a little bit more about some of the areas that have been affected in and around Gauteng, I have with me EMS spokesperson Nana Radebe, just to talk to me about some of the areas she's visited from early this morning. She was out in Soweto looking at the situation. Thank you so much for joining me, Nana. Nana, let's talk first about this area here in the Yuske River. Overnight, what was the situation and how many people were affected as a result of yesterday's thunderstorms?
As we can see now, we have people that are working to remove the rubble that was moved by the rain. Fortunately, we've not had any major incidents. We came by late last night just to check the river levels and to ensure that if it goes up, we would have a place where people can be taken for their safety. We have spoken to the people around just to ensure them that we'll come from time to time to check the water levels, but they must also do call us in case they see that the river has gone up abnormally.
And Nana, you were up early this morning, and you also went to Soweto. Which other areas did you identify overnight? And obviously, did a follow-up this morning?
The areas that we identified are parts of Soweto. This is in Klipspruit and Dlamini, where we had trees that had fallen, and also parts of Florida and Roodepoort. We had reports of trees that had fallen. The Mike one yesterday was flooded, but it is okay and open today.
And we understand that at least 2 people died as a result of thunderstorms. Just clarify that situation for us, Nana.
We have one person that we have responded to. This is in Melville yesterday, just after 4 in the afternoon. A female was unfortunately declared dead on scene after being struck by lightning. And we have heard that there was another incident that happened in another municipality, which it's a lightning incident as well.
And Nana, you know, as we see this gentleman, one of the residents that live here, what advice would you give to residents that live along the banks about safety and making sure that they are aware of the location that they live in and the rising water levels?
We have been giving them information about the rising water levels and how dangerous it is. But we do know that with incidents that we've had in this town, in Alex, people do get worried about their belongings. When it's time for them to move to a place of safety, with the NGOs that we work in that have a place where they can stay for a while, they'll say they're worried about their belongings and they wouldn't want to leave them to be stolen. But we have told them that in case the water rises to an abnormal level, we would have to force everybody to move up so that they are in a place of safety.
Nana, just to clarify, what would you rate as a level, a dangerous level that you would need to intervene and evacuate them, and where would you put the affected families?
As you can see now, the water level is just by the river. Usually you'd find the water along the residential areas, along the shacks, where now it's totally dangerous, and the currency of the water would be way too much for even everyone to jump over. We have had situations where you'd find that the water is even where we are standing, which is way too dangerous. Even the vehicles on the road cannot even move on this road. We are working with different NGOs around the area. There's areas that are owned by Gift of the Givers, churches around, which would usually take the people that are affected at a time.
Thank you so much, Nana. Nana Khadebe from EMS just giving us her account of what she's seen from last night and making sure that they check the hotspots areas in Soweto, here in Alex, in Diepsloot, and also in various other areas that are along floodlines. And her advice to people is to be extremely vigilant, especially the people that are living along the water lines, and to ensure that the minute they see that the water levels are rising at an alarming rate, they should ensure that they evacuate themselves, remove themselves to the nearest place of safety or a higher ground. And Tabiso, she was just explaining the issue of some of the casualties that we observed overnight and giving us clarity in terms of the incidences they responded to overnight from yesterday's thunderstorms. Tabiso.
Nozintombi Miya, thank you very much indeed. Be safe out there as you cover the story for us, keeping a pulse on the weather around Gauteng as well. Thank you very much there, our senior reporter Nozintombi Miya, speaking to us live from Alexandria.